Hello, good morning. Welcome to Saba's Way of Life. And I am in southern Spain. And today, here where I am in the Costa Blanca, not just south of Valencia, it is the warmest day that I've experienced here. And I think they've experienced here so far this year. It's 20 degrees, it's full sun, and I'm just going to switch the I actually can't see myself in the camera because it's so bright and the sun is shining, and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I have been outside since 8 this morning and just literally drawn walking by the coastline and taking some of the routes that a friend of mine who I've actually come here to see, my reason for coming to this area, walking by the coastline as far as I can, just to enjoy some of the more remote areas of the shores. And it's just so beautiful. And just in the last 3 days, you can see the colour. The sun is inside me. I haven't missed a sunrise. I watched the sunset yesterday. It's not easy to watch the sunset from where I'm staying because it's over a mountain, but I managed to get quite a good pic of it going down yesterday. I put it up on Instagram if you've seen it. I can't draw myself away from the sea. And for all my friends and family and people who are watching this in the UK, you know, we're so far removed from who we are. And we haven't entered. If we stop this thing about is going to happen tomorrow. I was speaking to somebody recently about the actual way humans heal is not through any form of naturopathy, and using holistic medicines and bark remedies, and yeah, they have their place, but we're too far beyond that. And really, once we understand who we are and understand that everything works energetically from the energy that the sun gives us, right through when we go below our cellular structure and right down to our mineral atomic structure. If we get rid of those patterns, when we work on getting rid of those patterns, which can be done immediately, just got to work on it, that is how you achieve balance inside the cells of your body. And the response I got was that, well, that's all in the future. And that's a very typical response, a mainstream kind of response for somebody who's been involved in whatever industry you're in, whether you're in the mainstream allopathic medicine industry or the mainstream holistic industry. That's the response you're going to get, because it just throws water over your entire lifetime's work. But it's the truth. We're going through a paradigm shift. We're in it. We're in this new age. And healing, we now are understanding, many did before, but we are innately understanding because of the light that's flying in to our cosmos. It's waking us up for those who care to be aware of it. I'm holding this up because when I hold it down here, my nose looks enormous, but my nose isn't enormous actually. It's quite in proportion to my face, which I've put on a little bit of weight, but it's nice. I'm very happy with that. So what was I saying? What was I saying to you? So yeah, and it's very exciting, and if you have the choice, look, you can get on these low-cost airlines. I don't know how long we'll be able to do this for. I mean, I'm just visualizing that that's where the world is going, but there's going to be a lot of resistance from the old system to stop us recognizing who we are, and people are waking up, thousands by the day, and they're changing their lives because we're in a position now where we can create We can literally create form from our right thinking. Our right thinking will lead to right choices, and we can change everything. I'm not just saying this. This is magical. I've experienced this in the last few years in accelerating form, largely by being alone. That's not me suggesting you should be alone. You have to learn how to perceive what I'm saying. But that is where we are. Removing the patterns, the ingrained patterns that we have from our lifetime, our conditioning, our ancestors, that's all gone. All of that gone. There's something that the Oracle girl says, who I've been following for some years now. She calls it the karmic delete. That's gone because the paradigm that we're in has deleted all that out. And it takes work. And you don't want to be a slave of the technological society, though many will be. But here I am, just one little tiny voice explaining this to you. There are many voices out there doing that. I don't think I'm going to be in the UK for much longer. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be. I'm just saying I'm following the flowing of the river, the energy that I am. I'm flowing that, and I can feel that pull to a warmer climate. Of course, most people who reach a certain age, certainly of my age, they are already pulled to a warmer climate. Again, that's natural. They become more spiritual after the age of 45 or so, and they see that there's something else in life and they're attracted to warmer climates. And for me, that's necessary, certainly because of my background, my genealogy, and of course understanding what technology has done to the blood-brain barrier. That's Dr. Jack Kruse's work. All the more reason that I need to be in the sun. But my genetics lend itself to that. Everybody needs the sun in one way or the other. If it's not through sunlight, it's through gaining it through being outdoors in the cold, which nobody is in high latitude environments anymore, and getting away from non-native EMF and blue light. It's the light of the sun that we need, the early morning sun, the sun-setting sun, and even in the day, just bare your skin to as much sun as you can. It's not a case of, well, let's go to the sun to feel better. That's where you should be, because you don't just feel better, folks. You live better, you think better, you make the right choices. And had I known all this so long ago, boy, I would have been so different. I would have left the UK a long time ago and raised my children in the sun, totally unschooled, and unschooled in the mainstream way, but actually really schooling them in how to think. I would have given them a Rudolf Steiner education, not the Steiner schools. They're all nonsense as well, a lot of them. The actual understanding of theosophy, spiritual science, and who we are. And that's where it's going, and that's likely what I'm going to do in the future, and I'm doing now in a lot of the talks that I offer to you on this channel. But things are starting to form in wonderful ways to be part of this new environment that we're moving into. And there is actually a division going on. There's going to be a division. There's going to be two avenues. There will be the technological society and those that are already hooked in to, they don't even know it. Most don't even know it. To the technology, phones, laptops, lights, non-native lights, LED lights, computers, laptops. It's killing them. It's so sad. But it's a choice to remove themselves from it. And those that have understood the real meaning of freedom. And first you know that freedom comes within. It's inside you. You understand what freedom is. And then through your own understanding of how we can create and allowing energy just to flow through you without any impedance, you create. And that's happening all over the globe now, and all over Earth and the cosmos. so many truths are coming out now. It's wonderful. Let me just turn this around and look at this. I only see a positive future now. That's all. Thank you. It's a seagull confirming that. Let me just show you the seagull for ages. It is so warm. It is so beautiful. It's heaven in the arms of nature. On a more third dimensional note, you know, if you can get a trip, make a trip. You can get. I mean, I travelled. I paid a little bit more because I needed to bring things here for some friends who I came to visit. But you can go on low-cost airline for the weekend, and it costs next to nothing on Ryanair or something, and come to southern Spain and just spend a few days here and then go back, and allow it to inspire you to look at different parts of the world before all this nonsense and tyranny starts getting worse. By the way, this tyranny is going to get worse, but it's going to collapse. And when anything collapses, I've always talked about the dragon. When the dragon's slain, which it is, it thrashes its tail. So but I wouldn't take much notice of it. There's going to be a lot of impositions, I think, that are going to come in. But you know, you just watch and observe, and do not engage in the fear of it. Just smile. Just keep smiling and know that it's a theatre game. We're just watching a theatre in play, and laugh and just keep doing your thing. But there might come a time for a short period where I'll stop you leaving the country and so on. So you might want to engage in that now and get out and about and do things and make decisions now. I would strongly recommend that if you're of that ilk. Thank you, Seagull. And take action if something inside you is moving you to do so. Otherwise, you might have to wait a little bit longer. But you know, you have your own free will. You have your own thoughts, and if those thoughts are coming from the right source, because we have three areas, don't we? We have body, soul, spirit. That's Rudolf Steiner's work on theosophy. I'm reading that at the moment. It's an absolutely brilliant book. Hang on, I have to read each page twice because it's you know, it's not hard. The words aren't hard, but to understand what he means, you have to read it a lot. Theosophy. Here we are. Can you see it? An introduction to the supersensible knowledge of the world and the destination of man. He wrote this. In fact, everything he did, all his lectures. He died in the mid-1920s, I think, born in 18 something. But he wrote for these times, for the turn of the century. He was a highly evolved man, and he wrote this for the people at the turn of the century, which, you know, we're well into now. So I always say that if you really want to come closer to the truth, look at the people who were around before the technological age, because they knew how to think. And he talks about right thinking. And I used to say thinking doesn't come from the mind, it comes from outside. But actually, that's not exactly true. There's several types of thinking. Thinking that can come from the mind is understanding where it comes from, what source. Is it an elemental that's coming in? Look it up. Or is it coming from your sacred heart space through you? But is it right thinking? And the ability to develop the right thinking from our brain is really what it's all about. I'm going to read this to you. It's such an extraordinary book. And I just hope it doesn't get censored like Barbara Wren's work did. It doesn't talk about the, you know, it doesn't talk about that, but it's much deeper than Barbara Wren, actually. She's brilliant, but this is much, much deeper, much more advanced, one could say, and not too advanced for us today, because that's where we are. That's the learning we have to embrace. Think like that. Finish your small thinking that the technological society has has put in front of us, which is very much in the West. And I lived in Dubai for 8 to 10 years on and off, and that is the worst. The Middle East, that section of the Middle East, especially now after understanding how MK Ultra has completely embraced our lives from even when I was born, and now understanding what it's doing in the Middle East. Dubai is just another Las Vegas, but on steroids, and the people there, the lowest form of life. That's what the human beings are in that environment. It's the lowest form of thinking. I wouldn't even call it thinking. I have observed over a period of time a couple of individuals, and it's that anyone in that environment for too long and not in touch with who they are on a very downward spiral and don't even know it. You've got to pull yourself out of it. It's gone. That, and it's all by design. They have created an MK Ultra model in the Middle East, modelling it on Las Vegas and non-native blue light, and they've taken over the minds, and they've killed and destroyed the minds of the people there. Breaks my heart because a member of my family was part of that. Hopefully he'll recognise it and pull himself out. But you know, humanity is my family, isn't it? So it will come good eventually. Let me just show you this. Can you see the sparkling sea, the light, the sunlight against the waves? And imagine how that's forming the energy within the water itself. And that's what happens to us when we absorb sunlight into our cells, into the waters of our being. And what happens on a cellular basis, bodily basis, physical basis in our body when we absorb pure sunlight. Do the homework on that, folks. You won't go back once you understand. I'm going to write some notes in the description below. Maybe not immediately. I'm going to post this first, but maybe not immediately. But do come back and watch and listen and read even the description, because I really want you to absorb the importance of this share today. But it'll be probably in a few days, because every moment I'm here, I'm going to be outdoors. And my entire biology is changing, has changed being here. We're being kept in a chicken coop in the UK and other Western places, even where you think you're free. But technology is the disease, technology is the prison. I'm not against technology, it's understanding how to use it in balance, but it's not anymore. You all know this. Understanding that when you see your environment dictates your perspective on things and your thinking, and this feeling of freedom here, there is nothing like it, and it will change your entire thinking and then the choices you make in your life, and it will change the entire path of life when you wake up to what it's really about, to understand, who am I? Who am I? Why am I here? What is it that I came here to do? And then how can I develop that gift that I have, that I came here to do and fulfill in this lifetime? And how can then I use that gift to serve humanity as a whole and the cosmos as a whole? Have a wonderful day wherever you are. I hear the weather's getting better in the UK. It's a nice, glorious spring day there today. Here it's 20 degrees, just a mild breeze, full sun. It's the best day I've experienced since being here, and it's beautiful. Shall speak to you soon. Bye bye.